everyone. This is VC Girls.
Hi, everybody. So I hope you enjoyed our last episode. Today, we are going to be talking about self-love. So I will be introducing to you guys about self-love. And my definition of self-love is, I think, the ability of how much you're able to love yourself and really treat yourself well. But that is all different for every person. So don't base your self-love off of another person. Base it off what you really truly feel. What are your guys' definition of self-love?
Well, I think for me, self-love takes different forms. There's different areas in our lives where we can show self-love. I know for me, I started in 2018. That was my New Year's resolution, to love myself more. And for me, that meant physically loving myself, like loving my body and the shape that I'm in. Spiritually, it meant really connecting and working on my relationship with Heavenly Parent, and, feeding myself with the good words. And mentally, it just meant like not getting involved in things that would bring me down and not allowing myself to put myself down. Because I would always write in my diary these very negative things. And I realized that was only just keeping me in this realm of self-hate and this realm of content. So for me, self-love has different areas that need to be worked on. And it's really just giving yourself more attention than you have been giving yourself from the past.
I think that self-love is, like you can also like love your good self, but also loving your flaws as well. Like sometimes I would like blankly just reflect back to like when I was like doing this like really stupid stuff when I was younger, and then I would be like, why did I do that? Like, and then it goes to the phase where I hate myself. Like, why? Now like people know me as this character, this, the list goes on. But I think in a couple of words I would describe self-love is loving yourself, but also accepting your flaws.
I love that definition.
That's good. I like that also. Okay, well, we can go to the second question, and that would be, where do you start? For me, I think that all depends where you are. I feel like everyone's at a different pace and they start differently. I honestly can't really remember where I really started loving myself or paying more attention to it. But I do know that's been something I've been struggling to really obtain, I guess. Like, because I would notice here and there, like I paid attention way too much just on how I look and how would other people see me too much. Didn't really realize that I'm not truly taking that self-value for myself and only for myself, and like really owning it and like loving myself instead of waiting for either self-validation or like validation from other people in order to feel like I'm being loved. So I think it depends where you're coming from, where you're at, and I think that's how you'll be able to go from. What do you guys think? Where do you guys start?
I think, like you mentioned, handful, like we all have, like it depends where we like realize, I guess. Like when I can't even remember where I started, but I definitely know it's probably like in my last year, senior in college, that like as I was working on my own brand, I started to like, do these projects and I get to know myself. It just depends on where your maturity is, in the sense of like what's okay, like kind of like understanding like what's my flaw and and be able to fix that, I guess. Do I think of myself, if I think of myself as like not worthy, at that moment I think people should then kind of switch their mind to like, no, I have to think that I'm worth it. So then other people, like, not only can other people relate, but other people can also feel the same way. Like, so you can tell other people, it's like, no, you're actually worth it, instead of like, now I don't know what I'm talking about. But if I were to summarize, it's just that if you think yourself negatively at that moment, I think people should realize to switch their mind to love themselves.
Right. So I have two answers, sort of. The first being gratitude, thinking about what you're grateful for. And if you can't think of something, then find somebody who's your friend or who like loves you unconditionally, and ask them, like, what are some things about me that you're grateful for? What are some things about me that you like? Because right now I can't see, I can't see that. Oh, so actually that was my two ideas mixed into one. Expressing gratitude for the things that you do have. Like for me, I had to start looking at myself in the mirror and just accepting everything that I saw, all my flaws, all the imperfections. I just had to accept, this is my body, this is how I look, and there's nothing much that I can really do in this moment right now. But what I can be grateful for is the fact that all my limbs are still connected to my body. Like, I don't have any illnesses or diseases. I don't have, I'm not in the hospital constantly. I'm still generally healthy, although I'm not too proud of my weight. I'm still healthy. So, that's, at least for me, that's where I started, looking at myself and really just accepting everything. And I think another thing that really helped me to start loving myself more was I had to sort of go back to the little girl that I used to be. Because that's, at least for me, that's where it started. It started when I was very young, not really liking myself and not really understanding my culture, not really liking the color of my skin. And that was obviously because of the influence of television and celebrities and all that stuff, right? And so I had to go back to her and apologize for saying those negative things to myself. Like, it was kind of a weird experience, because I've never tried doing that before, looking at the little girl in me and just, really apologizing and encouraging her to continue to love herself. And that's where it started for me. And it was a very deep moment. I was in the room by myself, and this was in college too. I was in the room, living by myself, and I just had this sort of moment where I just needed to address her. And I thought, many other girls are also going through something like this, and if we could all just come to this, I guess, awakening or this moment of just accepting and also apologizing, because all those words that we tell ourselves, so that really helped me. Yeah, that's where I would start. And, if that is too challenging for someone, then I would definitely, go to someone who loves you unconditionally. For me, it's like my mom or my dad or my friends. I ask them, to help me with something. I ask them, what are some good qualities about me that you guys see?
Definitely. I feel like it's also the environment that we're in that makes us feel that way too. Because like if we're in a negative environment, obviously it's going to turn out very negative, and we feel very negative because they say something that's very negative.
Yeah. For me, it was mostly the television. That was the environment. And I always compare, I don't know where this came from, but I'm a little girl, and I would compare myself to models and like look at them and be like, well, I don't look like that. Like, why can't I look like that? And so I don't understand where that came from or how that came about, but I think it was really a compilation of many other things. And it boiled to that point where I was like comparing myself to models, which is really ridiculous now that I look back at it.
Third question would be, who do you go to when you feel down? That's a good question. For me, I don't think I necessarily actually honestly tell people that I'm not really feeling like in a good mood, or like where I guess like feeling like myself. I'm not the person that openly says like I kind of need somebody, and like, but even though I do want it, I just kind of like just start randomly either messaging them or just approaching them and just talking to them like usual, and that's in a sense how I feel better. I'm not so openly like to like, oh, I'm kind of having a little bit of a problem here, can you help me? I'm not so really open like that, so many other of you guys who are like that as well, I can understand that as well. But I do also like to go to my mom when I feel like I have more confidence in telling her about something that I'm really struggling with. I feel like she's very open to listen to me, and kind of despite, I think it depends, like no matter what kind of mood I am, like if I'm very angry or if there's something that's really bothering me, she kind of knows how to read between the lines, not like take what I say to her like personally, because there are times like where we're in the car together and I'm just so fed up with something, but not necessarily with her entirely, and I say some words that like just blatantly just come out of nowhere, and I can't really take it back. But like if, let's say it's this discussion with my dad, it would get more heated, so I really appreciate that she's able to kind of take the contents and like find what is really like going on that I'm like not openly saying, kind of thing. So
yeah, I would say I'm kind of similar too. When I'm feeling down, there's no one that I really turn to, and I guess it depends. If anyone, I'll probably talk to my mom, but even then I feel like it's hard. It's easier when you're a child, but as you get older it becomes more challenging to like say or share certain parts of your life with your parents. And so I know that's something that I have to work on, to be more open with them when I'm struggling, because I don't want them to worry. So that's why I don't share too much. But I know it's like, if I'm gonna be a filial child, I do have to share these things with them. So if anyone, I go to my mom. But yeah, there's no one at least no one physical that I go to for when I'm down. I usually just turn to like Heavenly Parent, turn to God, and I just talk to God. And I just talk freely. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the form of a prayer, but I just talk freely, and then I feel better afterwards. So yeah,
I gotta agree with you guys. I don't actually go to other people. I do talk to my mom, but like I have addressed to her that I am like feeling this way, or I may have this, regardless of not like going to like a professional and all that. I just like go to her and like randomly hug her, and I do this every day, and she's tired of it. But I feel like if I don't show her this, like, no, because like sometimes she randomly asks like, are you okay? Like, did something happen to you? I was like, I can lie, yes or no. But if I'm really feeling like where I'm at that point where like, I'm thinking of like, taking my life in that sense, I would say, then I would say, yes, mom, can we talk? And it could be random talks. And I actually did this like I think in December. I had a serious talk with her and I made her cry. And we were crying together and we were like and then in my head I was like, I'm not making my mom cry again. This is not only awkward, but it's weird seeing your mom cry, especially for you, because she's never done that for obvious reasons.
Mhm.
But yeah, what I actually normally do besides hugging my mom every day is literally watching anime shows, kind of like that makes you feel more confident. Like it's like, hey, that character like has the same personality as me. Let me just like for one bit like just pretend that I'm in that show and doing what she's doing because we have the same personality kind of. So that's what I
Yeah.
do. Those are the 2 things I do.
Yeah, definitely turning to like entertainment. So like TV shows or your favorite games or activities, like hobbies, like for me, knitting, music, definitely those are other good ways. The other good things to go to, like when you're feeling down, definitely like when I'm sad, I'll put on like Blackpink or Beyonce, like just to uplift my mood. Yeah.
It's good that all of us, in a sense, have like a way we can go to our moms to like talk, because I think it's important. Because some of us don't have that, or it could be opposite, flip flop. It could be our dads that we're more closer to open to. The next question would be how to find a person to talk to. I feel like you can kind of make a list or evaluate, like, in a sense, what would make you feel more comfortable talking to a person. Like, what is your like relationship status with them? Like, are you really close with them? Are they more of an acquaintance? Are they a relative? Are they someone you trust? And like, yeah, how open are you to share about something, especially if it's something very deep that you want to talk about or like kind of get off your chest?
I just thought of this because I also kind of struggled with this question, but therapy is a good outlet as well. I think we should normalize like mental health, prioritizing mental health. And as a society, we should prioritize mental health. And I know that therapy and like counseling, even my mom, she does some counseling on the side. And so those are 2 great ways, if you don't have anyone close to you, in that like, or if you feel like the people around you can't really listen to you or can't really understand what you're going through, definitely counseling and therapy, because they're like trained professionals, they understand how the mind works and how people think. So those 2 definitely can help. And I know because I've had friends throughout my life who needed therapy and counseling for one reason or another, and it has helped them. It has worked for them.
This kind of actually made me think about like in high school. I didn't realize, but our school provides like they call a teen center. So this is where all the teens can go and kind of connect with each other, but there's also a trained therapist there. There are people that are there that have connection with like parenthood. Wait, what is it again? Okay, yeah. And they always do like little mini workshops during like a certain, like if you have like your lunch break or something, for example, like you can go there. And like I uncoincidentally started getting therapy sessions there as well. Just because I feel like I wanted someone to really talk to. I actually don't remember the reason why I started it, but it was really good. I think in a sense to have like a professional sense of view of like how to do things, even though I do have to say some of the stuff that I end up going there to talk about seem ridiculous to me, but it is one phase of your life. But like you live and you learn, so I think it was still good, and I think it's good to have it even at that age. Some people might not think that teenagers need therapy, but it doesn't necessarily mean because they're too young, but you never know what someone is dealing with and what where they are in their mental health, like what capacity they are right now, because they can be going through a lot of things because everyone has a different school environment, house, living environment, so you never know, they might need that professional, someone else, objective, like person to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. I did want to like do some counseling or therapy, not because I'm going through anything tough in my life, but I just wanted a third perspective. I was really trying to grow and develop myself. Like I want to become a better person. And so I entertained the idea, but then I realized I didn't have enough money for it. So yeah, gotta find alternative ways.
I feel like for me, like some people can't, like if that like counselor or that place of help like needs like some kind of like insurance, and people, you know, sometimes are struggling with insurances and medical fees and etc. I feel like for me is to find someone that actually understands what you're talking about, like someone understanding, let's just say, depression, right? If you talk to a person that doesn't understand depression, it's gonna be like, okay, and then you have like, and then they would say something that are not suitable for a person that's suffering from depression. Like they would say like, no, you're snap out of it kind of thing. That would personally piss me off if someone said that. It's like, okay, you're not educated, let me go to find another person. I would personally just observe, not stalk, observe that person. And like if that person like, you know, talks more and understands about like mental health or depression in this case, then I would say I can talk to that person now. Bingo!
So our last and final question is, what makes you feel more confident and what makes you feel loved and happy? So I feel confident, not as in the sense because I have it on, but I like to put on makeup at times.
Right.
And it's not necessarily for me to change anything or for me to feel much better about myself. And a little bit, yeah, but mostly it's just like I like to feel more put together. It makes me feel pretty. And at times I'm like, okay, mainly because I'm actually using the stuff that I have because I don't. So it feels nice. And then I end up trying to take pictures, which I never send anywhere.
Same.
It's all saved. Yeah, so I think there's never a problem with doing that. Nothing wrong with the little pick-me-up. And I like to listen to a lot of upbeat music or anything I like to dance to, honestly. I like to dance in my free time. But I don't like dancing in front of people. It's different if it's like at a party. I'm like, yeah, sure, with other people. So like I play it in my room anywhere. My family is pretty much used to the fact that I just randomly dance out of nowhere. If I'm like doing dishes, cooking, you know, it's just what makes me feel like less stressed or feel better or feel like I need to move around a bit because I've been doing nothing that much. Yeah, I also really enjoy watching videos of like people just enjoying themselves. I don't know. I feel like a lot of joy from that. So like with little kids, like there's this one Korean reality show I love to watch called The Return of Superman with their little children, and it's just so enjoyable to watch, and I feel a lot of love watching these kids grow up and stuff. So like yeah, because I work with kids and I really love kids, so they make me feel a lot of joy. So that's one way that I feel happy.
Yeah, and I guess for me, I forgot to mention this earlier, but one thing that I like to do on Pinterest, actually, I would find like these self-love affirmation quotes, and I would like put them on a Google Doc or a regular Microsoft document, and like design them, make them look really nice and cool. And this actually does help me boost my confidence. It helps me to, confirm myself. Yes, I am worthy, I am beautiful, and I am loved, and I deserve to be loved. So
For me, I would literally just like say like, today's my day. I'm gonna do whatever I like. And then like Camphil mentioned, like doing like looking at YouTube videos, what other people are doing, that's like for me it's other people gaming, ASMR, don't judge, and probably like the voice actors in Japan. Those are mine.
Oh yeah, speaking of voice actors, like the other day I saw a video of like all the voice actors for One Piece, and I was so shook. First of all, I always expect the voice actors to be like the actual age of the characters. I don't know why, but they're all older. They're all older, and I'm like, whoa, this is so cool. But anyway, but yeah, sorry, that was a little off topic, but
that's
yeah. So being loved and feeling loved is always a good feeling.
Comment below what self-love means to you.
And like and subscribe to our channel.
Make sure to turn on the notification bell so that you know when our videos come out.
Thank you for watching BC Girls, creating a better version of yourself. Bye. Bye.